Well, we're back. It's night 21. I'm not even a gin freak. My friend Dory likes gin. But I loved this bottle so much in Ireland. I may have snuck more than you're allowed to at home. There's nothing they can do to me now, right? Like customs people. Maybe I didn't lie. Maybe I forgot. But I had a few more of these in my suitcase. Just because I like the bottle. That's how much of a sucker this lady is. Gunpowder Irish Gin. It's just the most beautiful bottle I've ever seen. Just great, right straight from Ireland. And I'm drinking it in Waterford Crystal. And you may ask yourself, Kathleen, why would you have Waterford Crystal? Because really, I don't know either. I remember in my 20s, when I was on the road, my mom got me Waterford Crystal for Christmas one year, just like 4 of those. And I was like, I have a shitty apartment. Mom, what do you think's going to happen? She goes, well, I mean, one day you'll probably have, a nice dinner table. So I have Waterford Crystal. One wouldn't think that. I'm also wearing a sweatshirt right now that I stole from her. So I hope she's not watching it. It's kind of ratty, but it's so soft. I don't think she knows I took it. If she comes to my house, maybe she can steal it back if she finds it. Let's get back to Tanya, shall we? Tulips still haven't bloomed. I'm not saying it's a ripoff yet, because I believe in Kroger. Like I believe in me. Like I believe in Crystal Light. Okay, the Lou King Ranger show had singers and dancers and comics and mimes. Well, you got to cut the mimes out. I don't even think other mimes like mimes. Just annoying. And I felt closer to them than my schoolmates. I felt temporary the whole time we lived in Phoenix, like I was biding my time and waiting for something to happen. After 8 weeks on the show, I'd felt like I'd progressed as much as I would in that setting. Even then, I knew I was a solo performer and not part of some novelty kids act that we did on the show. I'm with Tanya there. I don't need to be in a group. You just always got to put up with other people's problems and why so-and-so is late and so-and-so can't come to this. And just a pain in the ass. But I hated the thought of telling Lou because he'd been so wonderful to us. This was like a Porter Wagner thing. Oh, I got to go. Oh. So I did what every entertainer does. I had my manager go explain things while I hid out in the dressing room. I said, you go tell him, Daddy. Now, mind you, she's probably 4.5 years old at this point. So I think she has a right to say, I don't want to tell an adult that I'm leaving a children's show. I'm exaggerating, but she was probably only 13 at most. Dad liked Lou as much as I did, but he walked down the hall and broke the news that I was leaving the show. Lou said he hated to see me go, but he understood. That's a little nicer than Porter Wagner was to Dolly. After all, he'd seen hundreds of kids come and go. LaCosta came home that summer to find out that I'd already put together her vacation agenda. I've been reading about the upcoming Miss Country Music Phoenix competition and decided that LaCosta was a sure shot for the title. Somehow Mother and Dad got together the money to buy her a cowgirl outfit and a gown, and off we went. Now, the weird thing about this contest was that you didn't have to sing. It was judged strictly on grace, beauty, and the ability to think on your feet, and LaCosta won it hands down. Well, I think that's called a beauty pageant. She modestly says it was all due to spending several years in Rainbow Girls. What is that? An organization that, among other things, teaches its members to speak in front of groups and walk gracefully. I never did that. So good for these people. I say it was because she was the best. We had more good news about LaCosta during that time we were living in Phoenix. Peanut Montgomery, remember Peanut from a few chapters back in Nashville with his wife named Walnut? All right, I made that part up, but there is a Peanut. Peanut called and said he and Ron Bailey wanted to cut a record on her at the Widget Recording Studios in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. I've been there. Actually, Peanut wanted to record me too, but Ron convinced him I was too young. Daddy decided to take me anyway. Somebody might decide to let me cut a record too. They needed Costa right there, right away. So instead of taking the car that Dad had just bought for her, a 1955 Chevy, we somehow put the money together for plane tickets and flew to Alabama. Well, why not have the brother fly you? Wasn't he in flight school? What happened to that? Just Lacosta and Dad and I went. Mother said she wanted to save the price of an extra airplane ticket and would stay in Phoenix. What she didn't say is she'd been feeling somewhat sick for days. Nothing she could put her finger on, just tired and out of sorts. I kind of feel like that in quarantine. Just a little out of sorts. Nothing really wrong, just a little out of sorts. When we arrived in Muscle Shoals, we found out Peanut Montgomery and Ron Bello couldn't agree on a direction for Lacosta. Ron wanted to take her more into a Delta blues sound, while Peanut leaned more toward straight country. They decided to go with the blues rather than country. What a shock to learn that industry veterans didn't agree about what was best for an artist. Ha ha, she's being facetious there. Up until then, we'd gone blindly along, thinking that if anyone in the business took any interest, we were home free, that they'd know exactly what to do and how to do it. I didn't pay much attention to those discussions at the time, though. I was far more interested in my physical surroundings than in any talk of musical direction. I loved everything about the studio atmosphere, even the typewriters on the secretary's desk. As the days went by, I spent my time trying to teach myself how to type. Random. It helped distract me from the recording booth. I could type 100 words a minute. The problem is I can't do math, so they were never in margins. So if you didn't mind getting a letter from me that just ran off the page, I could do it really quickly. But margins involve what? Math. Who can't do math? This lady. I spent my days trying to teach myself how to type. It helped me distract from the recording booth. I had the fever, and it killed me not to be behind a microphone. I'd sneak around and watch Costa sing, then kid her that night about how she'd close her eyes and swung her hips to that swamp beat. All right, I think we can stop there for tonight. Go back to a little Irish gunpowder. Little Irish, most beautiful bottle ever made of liquor as far as I'm concerned. All right, well, Ron's unicorn is drunk now. It's done a full head flip. I wonder how long that'll last. It's been here since about March 16th. That's a really good deal, too. I asked him how much he paid. $100, but come on, it's lasted a month. And there was a lot more with it, too. All right. That was Balloon Planet. Not that I need to plug those people, but you could probably send people balloons now. That's kind of fun, right? You're going to have to argue with them about leaving them on the doorstep, though. We had a few email back and forth about that, apparently, according to Mr. Wyatt. All right, well, I'll just be right here. See you tomorrow night.